The health status of Jessa Duggar, Seewald's little son, has been positively updated. He was considerably better after the Counting on Star made a tweak to her diet, she claimed. This revelation comes after she welcomed her sixth child a few months ago. According to the TLC star, her child got a rash that wouldn't go away. She consciously chose to avoid dairy during her personal breastfeeding journey. Identification of the issue and application of the solution. In a recent YouTube video, Duggar discussed her son's symptoms in details. On the baby's scalp, she noticed what appeared to be cradle cap. However, itching of the rash is not typical of that sickness. She planted the suspicion of a dairy sensitivity. She remembered a similar experience with her son Henry. If you believe Duggar, his skin issues went away once he stopped eating dairy. She made the decision to cut dairy out of her diet entirely. She felt significantly better even after just 1 week. Her baby's skin appeared to be much more healthy. Postpartum recuperation and its wide-ranging impact. This health concern is consistent with Duggar's recent remarks regarding life after childbirth. Postpartum bodily changes are something she has been upfront about. The mother of 6 has talked about how important it is to treat yourself with kindness as she heals. She recently talked on the idea that new mothers should bounce back after giving birth. Duggar emphasized the value of taking things slow and not hurrying to lose weight. Her family's well-being is her first priority. She already had a challenging postpartum period, and now she needs to figure out how to eat dairy-free. The fact that her son will profit from it, though, makes it all worthwhile. This useful solution highlights an issue that many new parents deal with. This family discovered the hard way that complex neonatal health issues can be resolved with a simple dietary adjustment. This story of Jessa Duggar's dairy-free diet provides a practical solution for parents facing similar problems. The way early light dances across worn wood could be compared to the subtle strength of a choice. The narrative of Jessa Duggar is a lot like that. You won't hear it. It's subtle. A mother hears her child's screams for assistance, weighs the counsel her family has given her over the years, and then follows her instincts when she senses that something needs to change. Her dairy-free shift is like a breath of fresh air in an overly dramatic world. It's unassuming, genuine, and direct. After the birth of her most recent child, Jessa started to notice things that only a patient mother can observe. The baby's behavior was particularly fussy, gassy, and restless. No parent wants to watch their infant writhe in agony, and no mother wishes she could do everything in the world to ease the suffering of her unborn child. She began meticulously documenting her baby's every action, including when he ate, how he pooped, and how long he slept, as many new parents do. Having a newborn teaches you to read life as a sequence of small clues. Jessa remembered learning during one of those restless nights that dairy is especially difficult for infants who are just beginning to nurse. When cow's milk protein enters a newborn's mother's milk, it can irritate the infant's small digestive tract. Although extremely few people have it, those who do frequently observe warning signs. Losing it following meals. Issues are piling up. Disc bulging. Spitting up was unexpectedly powerful. She made the decision to try a tried and true approach. She cut dairy out of her own diet. It was nothing special. It has nothing to do with trendiness or aesthetics. It was carried out slowly, methodically, almost like a prayer, just like people used to do when making important judgments. Unexpectedly, the change happened quickly. The baby grew more at ease. The amount of gas discharge was reduced. There were less tears shed. On the other side, there was a calm sky, and Jessa compared it like seeing the storm clouds disperse after a long night. She has a really traditional approach, which is beautiful. Women of earlier generations often made little dietary changes based on their intuition and close observation before research papers and pediatric guidelines were developed. Whether they said, perhaps the baby doesn't like milk, or try reducing butter for a few days, their arguments would somehow make sense. Jessa seemed to be honoring those women by making this choice, as though she had recovered a tried and true approach to parenthood from a more muted, comfortable place. But so many parents may relate to her narrative for reasons other than the conclusion. It's the humility of her demeanor. She was not going to pretend to be an expert. She didn't give her baby a complicated diagnosis. She did not follow dozens of fads. She learned new information and was able to adjust simply by listening. The core of fatherhood is being teachable, even when you're exhausted. It's not always easy to cut out dairy, particularly if you're a busy mom juggling a household, several kids, and public scrutiny. Dairy is included in all of your favorite comfort meals, including bread, sauces, snacks, and baked products. The moment a parent sees their child get better, the sacrifice seems surprisingly small. Jessa claims that she began to pay more attention to ingredient lists, learned new recipes that initially appeared odd but eventually became familiar, and did a more comprehensive analysis of labels. There's a certain charming, humble charm to learning how to make almond milk pancakes at 6 in the morning while everyone else is still asleep. The moment her newborn started to get better, her life wasn't miraculously changed. Some of the things that come with being a baby include crying, fussing, sleepless nights, and unpredictable mood swings. That one change, however, made things better, and sometimes the word better is all that is needed to move a family forward. That is the subtle miracle for many parents. In addition to trumpets, there are other techniques to promote healing. It creeps in occasionally like a soft wind rustling the curtains. Many mothers who have been embarrassed, worried, or confused by their own baby's food reactions have found comfort in Jessa's openness about her experience. She allowed everyone to see the entire tale, not just the dirt and grime. She opened up about the unknowns, the learning by doing, and the little victories that come with sleepless nights. The beauty of honesty is that other parents are just learning, not failing. It's also reasonable that she choose not to worry about health concerns. Many new parents are overwhelmed by dread at the first hint of trouble and rush through a series of tests and doctor's appointments before even trying the simplest solutions. The way Jessa does it encourages a more laid-back tempo. Pay attention. Make adjustments. Take a minute. Next, give it another look. It moves at a slow but manageable rate. A useful reminder that not every solution must be discovered in a maze created by medicine. It goes without saying that certain babies do need medical care because of severe allergies or other complicated health conditions. In Jessa's story, it is undeniable. It just goes to show that the most significant improvement can occasionally be achieved with the tiniest, most practical adjustment. The subtle strength that emerges from making a small change and seeing benefits right away is something that many mothers can identify with. When her newborn baby calmed down, began to eat more readily, and started to sleep for longer periods of time, Jessa's relief was nearly tangible. The one your parents can always tell when you're smiling despite being tired. She said that the satisfaction of holding a peaceful baby was a defining experience that reminded her that being a parent is a difficult but ultimately rewarding job. On the internet, many individuals treat parenting debates as competitions. How well do you execute? Is the way you feed correct? Do you use a strategy that is in line with current trends? However, Jessa's switch to a dairy-free diet simply mutes that background noise. She took action without looking for approval. She wasn't driven to make headlines. She had to take a chance for her unborn child, so she did. That is the single most significant element in the story's capacity to resonate with readers of various ages and backgrounds. Every parent longs for the moment when their anxieties fade and their child feels secure enough to rest on their bosom. Jessa found that moment in something as straightforward and dependable as paying attention to one's diet. Her story shows that healing doesn't have to be a difficult process. Sometimes it consists of fewer parts than others. Calm area for cooking. A mother goes back to her origins by trusting her intuition. For her, giving up dairy is more than just a dietary decision. Important themes include the habit of paying close attention until the answer emerges, the art of patience, and love.